Have you ever stood in awe as a flock of birds flew high across the sky, heading toward a distant land you could barely see? Or watched a lazy sloth hang motionless in a tree, never straying more than a few feet from its home for its entire life? For centuries, humans have been fascinated by one of nature's greatest mysteries. Why do some animals embark on epic, long-distance journeys called migration, while others choose to stay in one single place for their whole lives? This is not a random choice. It is a survival strategy shaped by millions of years of evolution, driven by the most basic needs of all living things: food safety and the chance to raise the next generation. First, we need to understand what migration really means. Migration is not just moving a short distance to find a better spot. It is a predictable, seasonal, long-distance movement of animals from one habitat to another and back again. Most migrations happen because of changes in the weather, the availability of food, or the need to find a safe place to breed. Animals that migrate do not do it for fun. They do it because their lives depend on it. On the other side, animals that stay in one place their whole lives are called sedentary animals. These creatures have adapted so perfectly to their home environment that moving would be more dangerous than staying. They find all the food, water, and shelter they need right where they are, and they have no reason to leave. Let's start with the biggest reason animals migrate: food and resources. Imagine the African savanna, a vast grassland that changes with every season. When the dry season comes, rivers dry up, grass turns brown, and there is almost no food left for plant-eating animals. This is when the great wildebeest migration begins. Over 1.5 million wildebeest, along with zebras and gazelles, travel more than 1,800 miles every year, following the rain and fresh grass. They walk day and night, cross dangerous rivers, and face many challenges along the way. But if they stayed in their dry home, they would starve. Migration is their only way to find enough food to survive. The same is true for many bird species. In the cold winter months, insects and seeds disappear from northern forests. So birds, like swallows and geese, fly south to warmer areas where food is plentiful. When spring comes, they fly back north to breed. For these birds, migration is a race against hunger, one that they must win to live. The second powerful reason for migration is breeding and safety for their young. Some animals cannot raise their babies in their regular home. The water might be too cold, the area might be full of predators, or there might not be enough safe space for eggs and babies. Take the green sea turtle as an example. Adult green turtles live in warm ocean waters all over the world, but when it is time to lay eggs, they swim hundreds, even thousands of miles back to the exact beach where they were born. This beach has soft sand, warm sunlight, and few predators, perfect conditions for turtle eggs to hatch. If they laid their eggs anywhere else, the babies would have little chance of survival. Another amazing migratory parent is the Arctic tern. This small bird holds the record for the longest migration of any animal on Earth. It flies from the Arctic to the Antarctic and back every year, a total of over 44,000 miles. Why? Because it follows the endless summer sunlight, which brings more fish and insects to feed its chicks. For migratory animals, finding a safe breeding ground is just as important as finding food. The third key driver of migration is climate and temperature. Most animals cannot handle extreme cold or extreme heat. When winter freezes, the land and water animals that cannot stay warm must move south. When summer becomes too hot and dry, animals that need cool water or shade must move north or to higher ground. Even some fish migrate. Salmon are born in small freshwater rivers, then swim downstream to the ocean to grow. After years in the saltwater, they swim all the way back upstream to the same river where they were born, to lay eggs and die. The change in water temperature and chemistry tells them when it is time to move. Climate is not just about being comfortable, it is about surviving. For many animals, staying in a place with extreme weather is a death sentence, so migration is their only option. Now, let us turn to the animals that never leave home. Why do some creatures spend their entire lives in one small area, never taking a long journey? The answer is simple: their home has everything they need, and moving is too risky. Sedentary animals have evolved to fit their habitat, like a key fits a lock. They do not need to search for food, because it is always there. They do not need to find a new breeding ground, because their home is safe. And they do not need to escape bad weather, because they are built to handle it. Take the sloth, one of the slowest animals on Earth, as a perfect example. Sloths live in the rainforests of Central and South America. The rainforest is warm, wet, and full of leaves, year-round sloths' favorite food. They hang upside down in trees, using very little energy, and they never need to move far to eat. Moving on, the ground is dangerous for sloths, because predators like jaguars and eagles can easily catch them. So, staying in the trees in one small area keeps them safe and saves energy. Sloths are so adapted to their sedentary life that they even grow algae on their fur to blend in with the leaves. For them, staying home is the smartest survival choice. Another famous sedentary animal is the giant panda. Pandas live only in the bamboo forests of central China. Bamboo is their only food, and these forests have plenty of it all year. Pandas have strong jaws and special teeth to eat bamboo, and they do not need to travel to find other food. The bamboo forests are cool and wet, perfect for pandas' bodies, and they have no reason to move to a different climate. Pandas have a small home range, usually just a few square miles, and they stay there their whole lives. Moving would mean leaving their only food source and entering unknown dangerous territory. Some large predators are also sedentary. Lions, in the African savanna, live in prides that control a specific territory. This territory has water prey, like zebras and wildebeest, and safe places to rest and raise cubs. The pride defends its home from other lions, and they never leave it unless forced. Their territory meets all their needs, so migration is unnecessary. Even small animals like squirrels and rabbits are sedentary. They build nests or burrows in a small area, store food for winter, and stay close to home to avoid predators. The biggest difference between migratory and sedentary animals comes down to energy and risk. Migration uses a huge amount of energy. Animals must build up fat reserves before they travel, and they face many dangers along the way: predators, bad weather, hunger, and human-made obstacles like roads and buildings. Many animals die during migration, but the reward is survival. They find food, breed, and live to try again next year. Sedentary animals use very little energy because they do not travel far. They face fewer risks from long journeys, but they must compete for resources in their small home. If their habitat is destroyed, they have nowhere else to go. Evolution has shaped every animal to choose the best strategy for its body and its home. Animals with lightweight bodies, like birds, can migrate easily. Animals with slow metabolisms or specialized diets, like sloths and pandas, cannot migrate. They would use too much energy and not find their specific food along the way. Animals that live in habitats that change drastically with the seasons, like the Arctic or African savanna, must migrate. Animals that live in stable habitats, like rainforests or bamboo forests, can stay home forever. Human activity is now changing this natural balance. Roads, cities, farms, and climate change are breaking migration paths. Many migratory animals can no longer reach their breeding or feeding grounds, and their numbers are dropping. Sedentary animals are losing their homes as forests are cut down and wetlands are drained. This is why it is so important to protect wild habitats for the animals that wander and for the animals that stay. Every year, the world's migratory animals take on one of nature's greatest adventures. They cross mountains, oceans, and deserts, driven by an ancient instinct to survive. The animals that stay home are just as amazing, adapting perfectly to their little corner of the planet. Migration and sedentary living are two sides of the same coin. Both are beautiful, smart, and essential ways for animals to thrive on Earth. Next time you see a bird flying south for winter, or a sloth hanging in a tree, remember, they are not just moving or staying still. They are following a plan written by millions of years of evolution, a plan that keeps them alive. Nature's greatest wisdom is not in choosing to wander or to stay. It is in choosing the right path for survival. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.